Hey, welcome back, guys. It's Colton here. You might recognize me as that guy who got absolutely destroyed last Friday playing Smash Brothers. But let's get back to something that I'm actually kind of decent at, which is science. And today we are going to be extracting DNA from strawberries, which I think is going to be a fantastic STEM experiment for you guys. So I've got a final product here, and it's hard to probably see from there, but at the top of this test tube floating are strands of DNA. So we're going to go through on how to do this. So there's a lot of moving parts to this experiment, so I'm going to break it down step by step. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take water, salt, 1 cup, some dish soap, and a measuring spoon. So that's step 1. Get all that stuff kind of gathered in one space. Step 2, we have our strawberry and we have a small sandwich bag. So kind of put that next to your step 1 step. Step 3, we're going to have a colander, a strainer. Hopefully you have one smaller than me, but unfortunately this is the smallest I've got. And you're going to need a couple cups to catch strained material. You're also going to take some isopropyl alcohol, your set of tweezers, and I have a couple test tubes. You don't need that, you just need a cup to catch all your collected stuff in. So step 0 of this really is taking your isopropyl alcohol and throw it in the freezer. Should sit there for about 30 minutes, and then it should be cold enough, but we'll get back to that. As I'm sure some of the more astute watchers have noticed, I already have some of the solution already made up. So I'm not going to go ahead and dump all this stuff, but I'll tell you exactly how to do it. So you're going to end up having 100 milliliters of solution. So 90% of that, so 90 milliliters, is going to be water. You're going to fill the remaining with dish soap, so 10 milliliters of dish soap. And then you're going to take a small measuring spoon, and you're going to measure out about 1/4 teaspoon of salt. You're going to add that, and then you're going to mix it all together. And then you should end up with something nice like this, and that's step 1. Now on to step 2, which includes taking our strawberry, and we're going to put it into our sandwich bag. Then we're going to take a small portion of our solution, and we're going to put it into the sandwich bag. A little bit more. So about a little bit of the bottom should be plenty. You're going to have a lot of leftover to do this multiple times, and I encourage you guys to do it multiple times. So we're going to close our baggie, making sure that all of the excess air is out. We're going to put it down on this paper towel here, and then we are just going to mash it. So mash the strawberry into tiny, tiny pieces. So now that we're good and mixed up, we're going to take our baggie, open it back up, and strain out all of the large leftover pieces. Now, what I like to do is I take the measuring spoon that I had to measure out the salt, and I kind of just smush the last big pieces inside of the strainer just to get every last bit of liquid that I can. And once you've done that, you'll end up with a very small portion of juice, which you're going to transfer to another cup, or in my case, another test tube. So, since I've got my fancy science stuff, you can use a regular funnel to pour your solution into another clear cup, but I'm going to take a pipette and I'm going to extract all of my juice into this test tube. And you don't want to fill whatever cup or glass you're using all the way to the top, because of course you're going to be having a little bit of isopropyl alcohol added on the very top. So I'm going to fill it up to just about that full, and now we're going to add our isopropyl alcohol. So now that we've had our isopropyl alcohol, and like I said, it should be in there about 30 minutes to make sure it's nice and cool. We're going to take just a little bit, and we're going to just dump it right on top. Take 2. And as it does, I'm going to grab some tweezers to get ready for it. But all the strands of DNA will start to precipitate up to the top. And once you give it a little second to react, you're eventually able to reach in. And if you can see that, grab some strands. So the reason that we see all this DNA here is because the DNA of strawberries are octoploids, which means they have 8 sets of complete chromosomes. As compared to humans, we're diploid. That means we have 2 sets of chromosomes. So this makes for a lot of variation in genetic material, which is what I'm going to ask as my question for discussion for you guys is, having all of these different sets of chromosomes, what do you think the benefits of having, you know, this great stretch of genetic variation is? Thanks again for joining me on this little STEM adventure, and I'll make sure I got a couple more for you here in the near future. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.